Hello, just a minute. My video is not working. I think it's working. There we go. All right. Thank you so much for coming to the Sashiko Live Streaming on Thursday night. This is Atsushi. This live streaming is the live streaming where I talk about Sashiko while doing the Sashiko stitching. It's not a tutorial, it's not a webinar, so I'm not gonna answer the technical questions which I have to stop stitching. But if the question is about cultural items that I can introduce without stopping stitching, I'm happy to answer any questions about it. I I don't know what is going on with me, but I do have a very strong reaction of some allergy, like running nose, itchy eyes, weird throat. So I may stop live streaming when I feel it'll get worse, for that matter. If I start sneezing, that's the time I probably should stop. So before I start stitching, there are a few announcements. There was a request for the schedule of my workshop of my Sashiko class in 2025. Everything is listed on the website, which is on the description. I do not have any workshop in-person class planned in 2024. The last one was over, and online class is always available. For this winter, we have 3 or 4 opening left, and yeah, that would be great if you could check that website and then find the information about my in-class workshop. Not in-class, in-person Sashiko class and Sashiko workshop. And I will make a final decision of when I'm gonna be going to Japan in 2025. If you are interested in Sashiko Japan Tour 2025, please check that website on the description area. Send me the waiting list so I can send you the information before I make it public. And that's about it. I will change the camera and start stitching, but it's quite weird. My throat is okay, but my nose is running crazy and well, it can be something. I don't know what it is. I just took the flu shot yesterday, and I had like a flu symptoms last night. Like, chill and well, I didn't have anything besides chill. But when I woke up this morning, I had a pretty bad allergic reaction, and it has been going since. It's pretty uncomfortable. So I hope it's not really something I activated by taking the flu shot, which sounds pretty crazy, but hello everybody. I apologize for my voice in advance. I'm not in the best shape right now. I cannot believe that this Sashiko. No, I cannot believe that I'll be in Japan next month. I will be in Japan as a part of the Japan Tour 2025. I said tour, but it's not really the organized tour. It is not the tour we can imagine. It's more like a series of workshop and retreat, for that matter. In Japan, though. It's really the series of workshops with many other Japanese Sashiko artisans or teachers or masters, however we call it. And almost every day we have some teachers, and yeah, it is like a little lady retreat happening in Japan. So we don't go to any sightseeing, not any. We don't go to sightseeing that often. But if you like Sashiko and if you like to meet other Sashiko artisans in Japan, this is a very great opportunity. I often get not a reaction. I often get a feedback saying that they would like to hear others' stories. It's very understandable that my story shouldn't be the only one resource when it comes to preserving the culture. And it is my intention to introduce as many voices as possible. At the same time, there's always like a language barrier and also the willingness barrier, trust issue. Some people don't want to be online to talking to unknown people. So to lower that kind of barrier or hurdle, it's my way to introduce what Sashiko is. So I will be in Japan for 10 days, 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. It's gonna be something. My allergy went all crazy earlier this week. I feel your pain. Okay, so it's probably something is happening right now. I associated with my allergy to flu shot, but it was probably coming anyway. It's not really. It's pretty horrible. And aligned to the time when I'm in Japan, we will organize the exhibition in Tokyo. And that exhibition is featuring my mother's work as well as the pieces, Sashiko pieces, done by my student in Japan. Well, I don't consider them student anymore. Some of them are much better than me, so it's more like friend. So some of the friends' work are gonna be on that. It's gonna be very small gallery, so it's not like expensive gallery with a lot of lighting. It's more like a small house with the opportunity of touching it. If you happen to be in Japan between November 15th to November 19th, and the gallery is open to public for free of charge, so please check out the information that I sometimes upload somewhere. Well, I probably should. I haven't prepared the website in English. Yeah, I haven't prepared that. I probably should. It's really not the priority at this moment, I guess. Ali, where is the cutter? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's the allergy is quite horrible. I don't remember being this vulnerable when I was a child. And I don't have much allergies to other things, so I don't know what is bringing me this, but... So today's topic was that we will have the Sashiko exhibition in Tokyo. And I have not really prepared advertisement yet. The flyer I made is all in Japanese, so give me some time to update it. At the same time, I don't know how many tourists will come to that exhibition per se, because it's not in the tourist destination. Although it's in Tokyo, it's not really the popular place to visit. And if the visitors are local, they may be able to read Japanese. So I don't know if I made the website or flyer last year. I should check that out. That's a good question. Thank you so much for that question. Those questions always encourage others to interact, which reduce my responsibility to keep talking. I really appreciate that. What has everyone else been working on? I have been doing a sampler with the Sashiko Lab 24 days of Sashiko on day 3 so far. Also working on stitching a pair of pants. Oh yay. This allergy thing is like, it's something. I'm sorry that. Let me know if my voice is really weird. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, but if the sound is kind of annoying, please let me know. Seeming a sweater. Wow, that's an interesting. Seeming a sweater. Infinity shippo pattern scarf. That sounds good too. Well, that's a lot. I have to. How can I put this way? I hope one day that everybody can look at what we do. Not only I do. You know, although I am sharing everything without any editing and modifying, it's quite narrowed because there are several things that I can only do while talking or feel comfortable doing while talking. And I am not that great, to be honest. I have never thought that I am skilled, probably because that I have so many others who I can compare to from my childhood. But I don't think I'm the type of artist or artisan. Instead, I consider myself as more like a facilitator or curator for that matter. So, not only my work, but others' work, especially from those who took my workshop or in class. I mean, not in class, the class in Japanese. It's something I really I'm proud of. I'm not only teaching Sashiko to Japanese only, I mean the non-Japanese only. I am teaching Japanese. I cannot talk today. I am teaching Sashiko in Japanese language as well to the Japanese people. And that's kind of like very assuring that what I teach is something valid. And sort of unique for that matter. It's, if what I teach is kind of like, I don't want to say fake, but let's say superficial or phony. I don't know if that's a good way to explain that. But if it's not genuine, I don't think many Japanese people would take my class. And I price it pretty high. I price it quite expensive for the Japanese workshop. So it's not like, anybody can take it. It's not like, make fun of what I teach, or, just everybody is serious. That's what I want to say. Everybody's serious in learning. And I kept doing that. This is the 40th time of doing that this month. And it's above more than 100 people. So it is quite significant. And because we share a lot of ordinary, when we share the enough techniques, they can really fly away in a good way. Understanding the philosophy is quite important when it comes to this Sashiko, the way we do it. But we don't have to, the Japanese, we don't have to really learn something new, because that's something we already have. So once they learn the skill, their Sashiko can fly away like the eagle, very fast. And they have been, I consider them like Sashiko artist or artisan, although they are quite new. And sometimes I introduce them on my Instagram, but this exhibition is the first time I introduce the pieces in real life, where they can touch, where they can see, feel. And one day, I can bring those things to the world. I don't know where, how. Museum, probably. Do they host me? I don't know how, but one day I hope that I can bring them to the world. I think we are ready to surprise the world, especially in the trend of Sashiko, because Sashiko has become something else from what we do. So it's like finding some of the pieces that they can only see in books, or they say that it's surviving example. Well, we are surviving too, so we can make samples from scratch. So I hope one day we can have that kind of exhibition somewhere. Just a second, sorry. I'll sneeze. Would you ever do workshop in Canada? I would love to. It's really up to the people who host me. I don't know if I am allowed to work in Canada. I do have a green card in the US, and internationally that can kind of the little bit of tricky part. So I don't think I have done any workshop outside of the US besides Japan. So as long as we clear those things, I hope I can. At the same time, sometimes next year, I will start introducing some of the people, some of the Sashiko teachers who kind of teach what I do. I don't issue any certification. I don't issue any permit to teach or anything. Like it's up to them. But there are some people who learn from me, and then their skill is quite good, and they are trying their best, and they're doing pretty good job to understand the philosophy behind it. And there's one in Canada, there's one in Brazil, one in Europe. So I don't know yet if they are ready to be announced, and I do not want to make a big announcement on that because that sounds like that there is a certification, which there is not. So it happens, yeah, it has to, when they say those things, people say like, well, what is the process that I have to go through to become a teacher? And I don't have an answer for that. Well, I mean, not hope. I think taking my core and essence class is the must. But at the same time, that does not make one as a teacher. It requires some practice and well, skill-wise, yes, but more like understanding of what is the core and essence of Sashiko. So skill-wise, it's not really, you can find other teachers too, which I don't know. But so I hope that I can introduce some of them, and one is in Canada, I believe. But at the same time, please consider inviting me to some of your organizations nearby. One of my Sashiko piece was in the ROM in Toronto, Royal. What does ROM stand for? Royal something museum, right? Royal. Ooh, I don't know. Oops. So that was probably the time I could travel to Canada. But that was also in COVID, like a little bit after COVID. Royal Ontario, probably. Ontario, yeah, probably so. Well, yeah, I hope I can one day I would like to visit other countries to teach as well. It's quite interesting. Um, I keep advertising the workshop recently, right? I think I'm really into the business mode recently, especially the October. I keep saying that there's an in-person workshop in 2025, so please consider taking it. That's in the Florida. Oh, I hope that everybody in Florida was okay today. Uh, one is in Florida and one is in Wisconsin. The one in QuiltCon in Phoenix is sold out already, so those two are the possibility of my workshop. And I don't know about Wisconsin, but Florida is experiencing a little bit difficult time to have student. At the same time, I am quite busy. My schedule itself is quite busy. So it's not that I don't have anything to do. It's like things are piling up, but not, how can I put it this way? Not going as they and we planned. But yeah, I don't think I can teach that often, and I don't plan to. So if you find any opportunity to join, please consider that. I don't know how long I can keep teaching. I may stop at some point. At some point I probably will stop teaching. I would like to focus on doing. Although I think I am better at teaching than doing, and I enjoy teaching too. At the same times, I have to balance it, and yeah, I may just stop doing that at some point. So before that, it's all about the motivations. And sometimes I really feel that I kind of like devastated, I guess. That's the word for that. Like, what's the point of teaching if that's going to be overwritten by something else? And of course, there are meaning to do that, but everything goes so casual entertainment. What's the point of being so serious on that? It's hard to teach all day and then do your homework. Yeah, so teaching has become like the entertainment, and teaching has to be sort of entertaining too, though. It has to be fun, and I do my best to make it fun. At the same time, the entertainment itself is quite like a superficial when it comes to the learning. So it's all about balance. But this might be a little bit of question, but there are two kinds of, there are many kinds of books, but literature, and there's like an entertainment book, right? Novel, there's like a classic literature and a book we enjoy reading. I like both of them, but can you kind of draw the line between the entertainment and also a little bit of like a literature classic academic way of reading? When I find that difference, I kind of start figuring that what I should be reading more and what I should be even watching for that matter. The movies, like there are tons of entertainment movies, and I sometimes, of course, enjoy it. At the same time, there are things that cannot be described or taught or left in the form of entertainment. So there's nothing wrong with making entertainment, but there's a little bit of drawback. Not a little bit, it's a quite significant drawback of making Sashiko as the entertainment. What is that? Oh my gosh, I cannot breathe from nose. It's not a good sign. Ish. Sakura is sleeping with breathing from nose nicely. Well, I think cat does not breathe from mouth that often. I had a horrible cold last week. Drank so much hot tea even though it was hot weather. Cat snores. Cat snores. Ours does too. So one of the things to make entertainment as entertainment is that either book or movie or like any medias that we watch, entertainment tell us how we should feel or what we should understand. Like if it's a sad story, the job of entertainment is to make us feel sad, either by um, video scenery or writing. But entertainment will not leave a room for readers or viewers to feel differently, because we prefer the easy message. If it's upsetting, we want to get angry. If it's sad, we want to cry. If it's funny, we want to we want to laugh. And that's very, very simple. It's really simple. And that's what makes entertainment so entertaining. We don't have to think about it too much because it's already prepared. We enjoy the message that they created. But that's not all the entertainment we have. Not all that's not only book or movies we can find. And I think that's what we call like a literature or classic. I don't know how to call those movie or books, but they leave us, reader or viewer, to feel how we should feel, how we want to feel. So they don't really leave the answers. They probably, not probably, they leave the context. They share the stories, but they let us sort of think instead of reach to the goal so easily. And I don't think that's what we call as entertainment. It's more like something. I don't know the word for that at this moment. It's probably literature in translation in my mind. But Sashiko as the entertainment is like teaching what they have to feel as well. And sharing the answer is one thing. Many people ask me to share the answers, and I can answer the questions. I can offer the answer, but that's my answer. That's not their answer. And by me sharing my answer, I can be taking away the possibility of they reaching to their answer, and that's why I try to not to do that. And Sashiko has to be somewhat non-entertainment, more like a literature for that matter. It's very personal for that matter, and I really do not want to define somebody's answer especially when it comes to their personal things. So that's why I keep saying like Sashiko introduced in English is kind of simplified. They made it like entertainment. They took out of the important part of Sashiko because they cannot teach. It's not easy to teach. I don't know if I'm doing well for that, but I hope that I'm doing somehow to leave some of those thinking behind. So I want to think. I want them to think. I want really everybody to think what, why, to whom. Well, I mean, actually, just what and why. And when we have what and why, we can we can kind of illustrate what we want to reach to the goal. And when we have a goal, we can think about how to get there. And I hope this world, especially in Sashiko, the people who are going to be on the stage are those who enjoy stitching, not by those who like the outcome of saying that they like stitching. So if I stop stitching, then I probably will have more time to teach. But that's kind of off the mainstream. There's nothing wrong with focusing on teaching and making money, but because money is not my goal, money is merely the vehicle to reach to the goal, and my goal is to preserve the culture of Sashiko we have been practicing, which I'm pretty failing for that matter. But this is not something I can preserve because of the money, I guess. Maybe, but advertisement is one thing I can consider, but at the same time, if I use advertisement, that has to be a very much quick instant gratification oriented, and that can attract wrong audience. That's why it's so difficult. Ay. Sorry, I think I gotta go. My allergy is getting pretty bad, so I don't want to keep sniffing the nose. So I'm sorry for the leaving the comment as open, and it's only 30 minutes, but I don't even want to show my face right now. It's probably so I shouldn't be talking right now. So I will come back next Thursday. I hope that my allergy is going to be gone. I took Benadryl this morning, and it knocked me out. It's so I didn't take it this time. I will come back next Thursday, and I plan to finish the Sasanoho patterns, and well, I almost finished everything. All right, I apologize for the quick live streaming. I hope I will see you next Thursday. Have a good night. Bye-bye.